For this question, we're going to determine the derivative of an exponential term over x. So we're going to have to use the quotient rule here. So the first thing we do is we realize that the cubed root of a term is really just that term raised to the exponent 1/3. Okay? So we then are going to leave the denominator alone and multiply by the derivative of the numerator. So x multiplied by 1/3 times 4 to the 2x to the negative 2/3 times the derivative of that exponent with respect to x times the natural logarithm of the base. And then we're going to subtract the derivative with respect to x of the denominator, which is just 1, times the original numerator itself. And then we have to remember that our denominator has to be squared. Now, what we can do then is we can see that we have x times 2 times the natural logarithm of 4, so in other words 2 ln 4x. And then we have 1/3 times this expression to the negative 2/3. So in other words, we can think of 3 going in our denominator as well as 4 to the 2x to the positive 2/3 going in our denominator. Okay? Then we're also going to subtract 4 to the 2x to the 1/3. Well, what we could do, if we wanted to find a common denominator with this term and this other term, which has now been simplified, we know that that common denominator is going to have to be 3 times 4 to the 2x to the 2/3. So instead of having 4 to the 2x to the 1/3 over 1, 4 to the 2x to the 1/3 over 1, what we're going to do instead is multiply this 1 by 3 times 4 to the 2x to the 2/3, and multiply this by 3 times 4 to the 2x to the 2/3. What that gives us in the numerator is 3 times 4 to the 2x to the 1, because a third plus 2/3 would be 1, and 3 times 4 to the 2x to the 2/3 in the denominator. And so all of that with that common denominator is actually just our way of simplifying the numerator. We still have x squared in our denominator. Now we are going to realize that we can now subtract. We've got 2 ln 4 times x minus 3 times 4 to the 2x. And we have this expression in our denominator, but we also can just multiply by x squared. It's one of the properties of fractions. When you have a fraction over another quantity, you can just multiply that quantity by the quantity in the denominator by the quantity in the denominator that you get in the numerator. I know it's fairly complicated, but it's just algebra. And then this becomes our final expression for the derivative of the original function.